Hi everyone, I'm Nat.
And I'm Nat.
And we're from the Traveling Foxes! So we're doing a year-end video now, and we're going to discuss the different places we've been throughout 2019 because we were traveling separately throughout the whole year.
This is our last day in Siargao before I head back to the Netherlands, and that's why we decided to do this year-end video.
Yeah. So we're going to be sharing our trips from 2019 and also our recommendations for 2020.
Yeah. So Nat, what were your favorite trips this year?
Okay, so for 2019, I went to Singapore. I used to live there, so I really liked that place. Went to the Maldives on January. Really liked it. The water is really turquoise blue. It is so amazing. The weather was perfect as well in January. There were no waves, so the water was just so pure and pristine. Then I also went to the US for the first time this year, and I went to the US twice. The first one was on the East Coast, went to New York and other places, and also visited like the Napa Valley and San Francisco. I also went to China this year, but that was for a work trip, so didn't really get to explore much of the culture. Saudi Arabia, because they opened their doors for tourism in the country. Bali, which is one of also my favorite trips. That was also my first time to visit Bali this year, and that place is amazing, especially Nusa Penida. Wow. Have you been to Nusa Penida?
I have been to Bali, yes, but I don't think I've been to Nusa Penida.
I traveled as well to different parts of the Philippines. 100 Islands, Cebu, Palawan, Coron, El
And
Nido,
Siargao.
and Siargao. Yes.
Doesn't Siargao remind you a little bit of Bali?
There's so many similarities to Bali and Siargao, but since Siargao is more local, I would probably prefer Siargao. But to answer your question, my favorite trip of this year is Maldives. I would say I really enjoyed the Maldives because, again, the Maldives is just so beautiful. I was there for my honeymoon. The hotel we stayed in was just so amazing. The hospitality of the staff made us feel so, you know, we just felt so luxurious.
Lady?
Yeah.
But again, it cost an arm and a leg, but it was all worth it. It was worth the 7 days we were there. I would recommend visiting the Maldives at least once in your life and trying out a water villa because wow, it is one for the books for me.
Beautiful. Yeah, and if you want to watch that video, right?
Yeah,
and we'll link all the descriptions below.
Correct. And what about you? What is your favorite trip of 2019?
Yeah, so 2019 for me was really a year of exploring Europe. Since it was also my first full year living in the Netherlands, it was so easy to travel around Europe. I explored mostly the Mediterranean countries.
It's getting super bright, so I'm sorry if I'm like squinting, but just focus on her, okay?
Well, I'm
really
also a little
bright.
bit squinting, guys, so please bear with us. I've ticked in my bucket list Malta, Italy, Greece, and Spain. I really enjoyed traveling around these countries, especially because I've always been with friends. So I met a local Maltese friend in Malta who really showed me local places to go to, and I vlogged about that as well. You can see it in the description below. And Greece was for a friend's wedding. Spain, I also traveled with a good friend from Italy. And I also visited her in Italy, which is why I traveled in around Rome and Pescara. And I was also able to travel around the UK, specifically in England and Scotland. But my favorite for this year was my Santorini trip, because it was kind of a mini reunion with some of my Filipino friends. My Filipino friend got married there, and it was just like a nice, fun reunion. And Santorini is just super beautiful. It's kind of like the Maldives, but it's just a different charm. The sunsets are gorgeous, and that was my favorite.
Nice. I'm still yet to visit Greece, so I loved your video.
Yeah. Okay, but out of all of the trips that you did this year, what would you recommend to everyone to visit?
Although I really liked Bali, because I got to travel there with a friend and we both experienced it together for the first time, I would still really suggest the different islands I visited in the Philippines. And I'm not being biased. I did a 2-week tour. I'm gonna leave the link to that below. I enjoyed it because it was just me getting out of my comfort zone. We were sleeping in tents. We were taking a bangka, which is an outrigger boat, to the different islands that I have never been to before, in El Nido, to Coron as well. Places with no signal, you had to stay outside. At night, we would have a campfire and just look at the stars. And living in the city, for me, that was a perfect escape from reality for a little bit. And it was bringing me back to like the basics of life.
Island life.
Island life. It was super island life, and it just makes you realize what really matters.
Yeah.
What about you? What trip would you recommend to our viewers and our friends who would want to experience it?
I mentioned earlier that I traveled around the UK, and one of the countries that I visited was Scotland. Wow, Scotland is a beautiful, beautiful country. I was really blown away, and it's quite underrated. I don't think a lot of Asians or Filipinos in general would say like, oh yeah, I would want to visit Scotland.
Well, I only know Scotland from Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, Game of Thrones. I also watched Outlander, the Netflix series, and it was one of my dreams to just visit Scotland as well and see some of the locations. And Edinburgh is such a cool city. It's very well preserved. The castles there are just really nice. If you like castles, the medieval architecture, whiskey, and hearing the sexy Scottish accent, then you would probably enjoy Scotland. Oh, and don't forget to go on a road trip to the Highlands as well. They call it the Glencoe Islands, and it's super beautiful. It will just blow your mind.
Very nice. Nice. Another place again I have not visited yet, so soon on my bucket list.
Yes.
Speaking of bucket list, which country would you want to visit for 2020 that you have not visited before?
Yeah, actually I've done my whole planning for 2020.
The planner.
Yeah, exactly. But the one that is pretty much booked and I'm super excited to go to is Russia. So Russia is a very, very big country, and it could be very, very cold as well during winter, but it's also been my dream to go there. So for my birthday in February, I am going to St. Petersburg, and it's going to be very snowy, very wintry, and yeah, I'm really excited for that. Because this year I traveled mostly in the Mediterranean countries, and I think next year I will try to go to some of the more exotic or West or East Asia, just so I can experience it as well.
Yeah, nice. Oh gosh, it's getting brighter by the second. For me, where I want to go in 2020, haven't booked anything for 2020. Planning to go to Europe. I've been there several times, but my dream destination for next year is going to be in Africa, Morocco. I've never been to Africa, so it'd be super interesting. I've seen a lot of travel vlogs in Morocco and Instagram posts, and it's just so amazing. Just the colors, the use of all the different paints is something I really like. And just the culture, it would be super different compared to a lot of the places I've already been.
Moroccan food as well.
Yeah, Moroccan food.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to join her, guys.
You better.
I'm gonna join her. So yeah, that's something to look forward to, right? We're gonna be vlogging in Morocco. So
Hopefully.
yeah.
Let's not speak too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, thank you for watching another video from the Traveling Foxes. Please do subscribe to our channel and also click the bell so you get updated when we post more travel videos.
Next travel videos.
And again, if you have any suggestions on where we should go, do leave
Let
a
us
comment.
know.
Bye guys.
We're going to enjoy our last full day here, maybe by the pool.